Hey guys, just wanted to try to quickly explain what fat quarters are and how they can be used for these next two pillow projects. So let's kind of clarify what a fat quarter is first. So a fat quarter looks like this. It's a rectangle. It's not a square. If I were to fold this over into that triangle, do that little trick that you do to get an even square, you can see there's a couple inches on the end. That's what makes it fat. Okay. So why does this exist and how do they get it? Well, when you go buy a fat quarter, it's going to be cotton. It can be printed. It can be plain. It can be in a package. It can be single by itself. Okay. It's just a basic cotton. It's pre-cut. Does need to be washed, so it's not pre-washed. This is 18 by 22 inches. So why is that? Well, the way that ends up happening is when you take fabric off of a bolt, that standard length of fabric that you see in the fabric store, those bolts, when you take one off and you unroll it, okay, unroll it 1 yard down, imagine cutting that off. Okay, so I have 1 yard length of fabric, 36 inches. You open it up, it is 44 inches, so it's not equal. So 1 yard of fabric is 36 inches long and 44 inches wide. If we were to cut those into quarters, we would not have a square quarter, okay? But it's still a quarter of a yard. So that's why this is a fat quarter. So you take that 1 whole yard of fabric, cut it. We have 18 inches on each of the four and 22 inches for the tops and the bottoms of them. So that's how you get a fat quarter. Why would you want one of these? Well, people can use them for quilting or for small, quick projects. It's a nice, cheap way to get a piece of fabric that is slightly decorative. Because otherwise you would have to be buying things by the yard. Okay. Perhaps you can still get things by the half yard or quarter yard, whatever you need, usually. But sometimes you don't need that extra 22 inches of fabric on the side. Maybe you just want this little piece. So that's what this is for. How are we going to use it? We're going to use it with, potentially use them with our pillows. The first pillow is the ruffled pillow, and the instructions that are uploaded might be a little confusing at first, and that's understood. They might be reworked. However, looking at them as they are, I want you to understand why you might or might not want to use a fat quarter, and it's up to you. So I'm going to lay it out. The pillow itself is a 16 by 16 inch square to start. Okay, you're starting with a 16 by 16 inch square. If you get a half yard of fabric, you can get two of those, so front and back of your pillow, and then you can get a 8 inch by 18 inch piece. Okay, you have those extra 2 inches for the first ruffle. That's good. Okay. If you get that extra quarter yard, if you get 3/4 of one type of fabric, you will get the front, the back, the first ruffle, and the second 2 ruffles off the bottom. Really easy. Not that visually interesting for a pillow, but okay, this is purely for practice. If you were to get a half yard and then get one of these, the problem is you can only get 2 ruffles off of this. Okay? It has to be 8 inches long, and this is only 22 inches wide. Okay? So we can't get 3 off of this, we can only get 2. So if I get front and back and 1 ruffle off of the half yard and then 2 off of this, I have mismatching ruffles. Does that matter? No, doesn't. You could do polka dot, plain polka dot if you wanted to. If you want all your ruffles to be the same, get a half yard of fabric and 2 of these, or here's the or. Because you can get a 16-inch square off of this, you could get 2 of these for the front and the back of the pillow, and 2 of these for the 3 ruffles that you need. Okay, so you have some options. As far as the second pillow goes, the neck pillow, just like this. Okay, very simple, very basic. This and the ruffle pillow will be able to be made with 1 bag of stuffing, so you only need 1 bag. I would like for you to start with a woven fabric, a non-stretchy fabric. Okay, this doesn't really stretch. See, okay, but it's nice and soft. So I chose a fleece for this one. Perfect. Okay, nice and cuddly. Can rest like this very happily on it. Okay, so as long as you're choosing something that's not stretchy, that's perfectly fine. We will need, let me double check with my measurement. Okay. The width of it. Okay, well, you're going to use a pattern for this. For the first one, you're going to be measuring with your measuring tape. For this one, you could get away with, okay, this is about 13 inches long and 13 inches wide approximately. But you're going to need extra for the top and the bottom. So you're going to need, let's say, at least 15 inches, and they probably won't sell it to you like that. So you might want to get a half a yard. Yep, so I was right. A half a yard, just for safety. Not for safety, but, you know, so that you can get the right product. Okay. So get about a half a yard of whatever fabric it is that you want, okay, as long as it's not stretchy, to include 2 of the fat quarters. You can also pick one. I made this for somebody who's going to have a little baby. Perfect, because I found one side or one piece of a fat quarter that was kind of cutesy, and I found something that would be matching for the back. Okay, so that's the fun with that, and you can easily get the fat quarters very cheaply. So I hope I've explained what a fat quarter is and why you would want one and how you can use it for these 2 upcoming projects. All right, cheers, good luck.